Right, so we're back with another video, and it's been a week since we last uploaded, so, I'm keeping the schedule going anyway, and seeing how far we can push it. Maybe we'll make it shorter, maybe we'll make it longer, but yeah. It's gonna be another normal video, kind of like more YouTube news that's happened this week, this past month, or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna get into it, so let's go, guys. So the first topic I have here is Mr. Beast. Everyone knows that he's uploaded the Squid Games video recently, which did absolutely amazing. It was mental, it was uploaded 2 weeks ago, but it was brought to public eye about a month ago, when he was made the TikTok about him going to make it if he got a certain number of likes.
If this TikTok gets 10M likes, I'll recreate Squid Games in real life.
And it smashed them numbers, so everyone was like, well, we want to see it. So 2 weeks ago he uploaded the video. It was in production for a while. He did have 456 players compete in a real life Squid Game. There was a lot of comments before the video came out basically saying he could have spent the money on charities and he could have spent the money on this, that, and the other. But to be honest, he's done more for charity than anyone I'd say. There's obviously people who've dedicated their whole life to charity, but that's basically what Mr. Beast has done. He's got a whole YouTube channel called, is it Mr. Beast Philanthropy, where he just donates and does stuff for charity. He's giving away food to homeless people. He's giving away food to food banks. He's helping people through crises and stuff like that. So this man is basically doing more than the average person for charity, way more. And the video before that was uploaded a month ago. It was the Team C's video where he got a bunch of people to help clean out the oceans. And, for every, I think, $1 donated, there's a pound of rubbish taken out the oceans and our waters. And that's done well. 17 million donations have been donated out of 30 million. So I feel like he's going to hit it definitely within the time frame he would like. It's mental how he's done that fast as well. And everyone's given out because he could have donated the money to charity. I think he said it took over, around $3 million for him to make the video. The prize money, giving everyone who competed, I think, walked away with some money. I think the minimum was $2,000. And then, it got up and up the more you stayed in and the more challenges you complete. But the winning prize was $456,000, which is mental. And yes, he could have donated it, but I swear he's donated over way more money than most people have. And he's done so much for charity. So there's no point in giving out because it's not like he doesn't do anything for charity. And if you want to give out to someone, go give out to Squid Games, the creator of Squid Games. I think it cost him 20 million or over 20 million to make the actual show. They could have, that 20 million would have helped charities. So don't give out to one person if you're not going to give out to the other person. Another event that happened recently, this is kind of not serious. This is a less important event, to be honest. It's the Jake Paul and Tommy Fury fight. So if you guys who don't know, YouTube Boxing was meant to have another fight again. It was meant to be Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. This was his first ever amateur boxer. Jake Paul would be fighting. Everyone was so excited for it. And the fight was originally meant to take place on Saturday, December the 18th in Tampa Bay, Florida. Recently, a couple of days ago, we have had news that Tommy Fury has pulled out of the actual fight, so he's no longer competing in it. The original reasons, I think that open public anyway, are Tommy Fury has broken his rib and that he's had a chest infection, so he's not been able to train as hard as he wanted to. It's kind of tarnished the Fury name as such, because Tyson Fury is Tommy Fury's brother. Tyson was helping train for it, and this is the reason I think Tommy Fury has had the injury, so I'll put the clip up now.
Is that your belly? You fucking out. You ticked. That's alright, go on, do it.
So as you guys can see, that Tyson Fury has just been pummeling Tommy Fury's abs with a medicine ball, and it looks fairly heavy. It's a fairly big one as well. So no wonder he's broken a rib if that's the kind of training he's going through. And yes, Tyson Fury does know what it takes to be a world champion. He's been there. But the thing is, there's a clip as well. I'll put it on screen now.
His worst night ever and still beat Jake Paul. He can probably turn up with broken ribs, a broken left hand, 2 left feet. He's closed on back to front and with the flu and then still beat Jake Paul. That's how confident I am he can beat Jake Paul.
So the clip's basically just Tyson saying oh yeah, even with a broken rib and stuff like that, Tommy's still fighting because it's going to be an easy fight. If it was that easy, Tommy Fury would have fought with the broken rib, with the chest infection or whatever. Or, after suffering that. If it was that easy, if they thought that little against Jake Paul, that they would have sent him in. But Jake Paul, that it shows that they clearly are trying their best to win this Jake Paul fight. Because they wouldn't be this serious against Jake Paul if it's only a YouTube boxer and he's not a professional boxer like Tommy's been fighting for years, or training for years at least. He's been training his whole life to be a world champion boxer. It's in his bloody, it's in the name he has. Like, the Fury name is mental. It's like, you got John, the dad, you got Tyson, and now you got Tommy, who's an amateur boxer. But it just shows that they took Jake Paul more seriously than they were letting on for it to be allowed to be a, YouTube boxer as such. So after Tommy Fury had pulled out, Jake Paul has now, there's a fight still going ahead on December 18th. I suppose as it was only 10 days away from the actual thing that got announced that it was being Tommy was pulling out, they didn't want to cancel the fight because seats were already being sold. The undercard was already announced. People have already been training. I think Jake's manager messaged Tyrone Woodley saying, let's have a rematch. And Tyrone had apparently been training the whole time like he was going to fight Jake Paul. I suppose just like, you never know what's going to happen in boxing. I don't know, but Tyrone has apparently been training the whole time properly. So now Tyrone Woodley's replacing Tom. And yeah, another part of boxing news, or like YouTube boxing news as such, is Deji, Comedy Shorts Gamer, or Deji, is returned to YouTube. He came back with his redemption video, and it's a very good video. It's well shot, it's well edited, it's a proper like return video. It's like a trailer to like the beginning of. But I was hoping to see an announcement for a fight, like he's gonna be like, is Deji gonna be fighting someone? And I've heard like leaks that he tweeted a picture and then deleted it. It was apparently Deji versus Gib. They'll be fighting again, but it's not 100% confirmed. Neither of them have actually spoken out about it. Like, Gib hasn't responded, but Gib was meant to come back with his own return to YouTube or return video to the boxing scene or something, but he had to delay it. It was meant to come out on the 2nd of the Friday the 2nd, which was the same day as Deji. But I think he's pushed it sometime next week or this week when you're watching it. Madness. YouTube boxing is coming back. And it's sadly not the fight we all wanted. We all wanted to see the Jake Paul KSI fight. But if it's going to happen, it's either going to happen next year or it's not going to happen at all, I think. Because KSI has been putting a lot of his energy into his music and he's had festivals planned. If it's not next year, it may be 2023. But then he doesn't even need to do it anymore. He's got a win. He's got a professional boxing win. He's smashing it in music. And the thing is, Jake Paul didn't want any part to do with KSI when KSI first went after he beat Joe Weller. KSI won. Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
You wanted to call someone out. Wow. Oh, wait, see, man's got this belt right now. If any YouTuber wants it, you can come get it. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care.
Or any of the Pauls. Jake was like, yeah, nah, fight your brother. And Jake won that. I just want to know what would happen if Deji had beaten Jake. None of this would have happened. We might not have seen Logan against Floyd Mayweather. We might not have seen Jake fighting all these different fighters. And you might, like, he's basically not even you can barely call him a YouTuber anymore because he hasn't uploaded in a while. He's too busy just focusing on his boxing career, which is fair play. KSI is basically doing the same thing. He's got his YouTube channel, he's got his music. It's all he really needs to do. But another part with KSI is the Sidemen, the YouTube group Sidemen, have basically come out with their restaurant. They're following the Mr. Beast kind of franchise of basically expanding your name because YouTube's great and all, but they're not going to be able to continue going the way you're going, and the money's not going to stop. But they're not going to be able to post every Sunday for the rest of their lives. They're going to want, where if it's just a YouTube group, it's going to eventually fall. That's why they're changing it to more business. Like, they've still got there every Sundays, but they're more business minded now, which is good because they want to be able to not have to put the work in soon enough. Because a couple of them are nearly 30 soon enough. I think next year or the year after they will be turning 30. So it's like they don't want to be doing the videos they're doing now when they're like 40 odd, or when they have kids and they have families and want to settle down. So that's why they're like starting to become more business minded. With they've released a restaurant in London and the UAE area, the United Arab Emirates area, and it's called Sides. It's not Eat Sides, it's not Side Eats, it's Sides. Just that they've got many different foods. I'll put some images up on the screen now. There's burgers, there's chicken selects, there's all these different dips. There's fries, there's loaded fries. It just looked amazing. I've not been able to try any of it because I've not been over to London or Dubai or any of the UAE countries. But in January, I'm hoping to go to London just as a holiday for myself, and I'm going to be recording a bits of it. I'll definitely, if the restaurants are open at that point, I'll definitely be ordering some food and trying it and just letting you guys see what I think of it. But yeah, that's like most of the news I have this month. This month anyway. We'll be posting more if I find out more news, and then I'll probably do a response to the Tyrone versus Jake. Who wins? I'll be leaving you guys to it. Thank you guys for watching, and check out the other social medias in the description. And yeah,